So I just recorded all 16 minutes of the vlog and I went to edit it and I freaking hated what I said. So let's start this over. This episode is about tips for beginners. And I'm going to start it off by saying a lot of what I'm going to say now is really from another person. Today I watched a live video on Instagram from Time to Deflate, and I'll throw her name at the end with mine so you can request her if you're not already friends with her. She's totally freaking awesome. She's done amazing on her journey. She's got a great personality and I really enjoy watching her. So I know you will too. So somebody asked her on that live video, what are your tips for beginners? And it was somebody who didn't actually have weight loss surgery. It was just somebody who's trying to lose weight, period. And this tip really, really works for both. She said, the most important thing is consistency. And I have to agree, being consistent is huge. She said really how she started was before her surgery, she started breaking out of bad habits and bringing in new good ones slowly. So she stopped drinking soda and started drinking more water, which is something that I did as well. Cut out some bad foods and started finding good foods that would kind of supplement that we could have after surgery is something I did. Like slowly getting your butt off the couch and adding in walking. To me, my goal every day is to get in my 10,000 steps. It started smaller, but now every day I want to get in 10,000. And hey, sometimes I only make 8, but sometimes I make 12,000. It really depends. Sometimes I go even more, but So, get off the couch, get your steps in. Add in a day at the gym. Slowly add in more workouts as you go along. And it's really about letting go of those bad habits and bringing in the good habits and doing it consistently. Am I always consistent? Heck no. I'm still working on it. My life, my journey is a work in progress. But it was just a really, really good point by her. Being consistent is one of the most important things in a weight loss journey, regardless of surgery or just trying to change up your lifestyle. That's the greatest tip ever. So please work on being consistent. I'm going to. Building habits like going to the gym. I'm not perfect at that. What I really crave is competition. I like going with somebody who's going to be like, oh, I can do more weights than you, or oh, I can do more reps than you, or oh, I can go longer on the elliptical than you can, or I can do the row machine longer, or yoga. I'm gonna hold that pose deeper and longer than you are. Not that you're really supposed to talk in yoga, but you get what I'm saying. I like having someone who's going to challenge me. I want somebody who's gonna be like, I'm gonna kick your butt today. And I'm gonna be like, no you're not. I'm gonna kick you. So I don't always get that. So I don't go to the gym consistently. I find other things to do, like running or biking or whatever, stuff like that. And that's a problem that I'm trying to work on. I need to start going to the gym alone all the time. I used to go to classes alone all the time, and I need to start that again and stop making excuses because it's bullshit. But we all have those days, and that's acceptable. But it's about, still finding that consistency. And to me, one of the biggest things is finding balance. So before weight loss surgery, every time I would go on a lifestyle change, there were a couple of times when I had a diet and I would I'm cutting out all of this. That's bad. I learned about my personality that if I cut all of something out, say ice cream, which is one of my favorite things, and Time to Deflate knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, I might go 2 or 3 weeks without ice cream, but then guess who's gonna eat a whole freaking half-gallon ice cream? Okay, not that much, but I would go on a binge. Say I'm not allowed to have cookies. Well, 4 weeks later, guess who bought and ate a whole pack of Oreos? So that's not good. I crave chocolate a lot. I'm a sweets person, and I really hope that will go away after surgery, like it does for a lot of people. No. So chocolate. Love it. I like dark, but I love milk. I don't know what it is, but milk chocolate, just so creamy. Oh, that's my baby. So If I cut out chocolate, guess who's gonna eat a lot of chocolate? So I learned the key is, and this doesn't work for everyone, but the key for me was to keep, like, say I love the Lindor chocolate truffles. They're a little tiny balls. So I get that little small bag, has a few of them in it, and I'll allow myself one. There might be one a day, there might be one a week, there might be one a month. Who knows? You know, really not one a day, that's too many. But there might be a time when I'm craving chocolate 3 days in a row, and I'm going to have one 3 days in a row. But then I'm not gonna crave it for like a couple of weeks. So a couple weeks later, I'll have one. And then maybe a week after that, I'll have two. You know, and that's better, I think, having one a day and being able to burn off those calories than having a whole bag in a day and not being able to burn off those calories. Because then the next day, I'm probably gonna go and have more of some other piece of shit that I'm not supposed to have. So I learned, for me, in moderation, regardless of what it is, for me, moderation is the key. For you, maybe something else. So you have to get to know yourself on this weight loss journey too. In the beginning, I didn't have these things around. It wasn't really even of interest to me in the beginning. Like 1 month, the first month post-op, you're on a special diet anyway. So obviously you can't have that. I went to my pantry and I was like, I'm throwing out all this shit because I don't need it around. Wasn't gonna eat it. My husband didn't need to eat it. And once I was on solid foods, I didn't need to eat it. So I'd say it was really good for like the first 2 months post-op. But I started bringing in snacks, and most of them healthy, but bringing in things and allowing myself a small amount at a time. So even things like jerky or cheese or fruit, only a small amount at a time. Even if it's got your protein or whatever, small amount, it's about moderation. And where I was going with balance was, yeah, so maybe one day I'll eat chocolate and the next day I'm gonna eat a salad. And maybe one day I'm gonna eat a piece of steak with a bunch of veggies, and the next day I might eat a taco and a French fry. Like, you have to find balance because you can't be miserable for the rest of your life either. You know, this is a lifelong journey, and you have to be able to wake up every day and smile and love what you're doing. And, you know, that has to do with work and relationships, but food and exercise and health too, because, you know, we've had unhealthy food relationships for most of or our entire lives. That's why we've gotten where we're at. That's why we've had to have surgery. So building a healthy relationship with food is important. Building a healthy lifestyle that we've never had is important. And the balance to keep that life is huge. You cannot just be, you know, super strict diet and super strict gym all the time. You know, life is a little bit of work and a little bit of party, and that goes for this too. You know, yes, you need to eat right the majority of the time. You need to exercise right the majority of the time. But now and then, you just gotta let up and have a little fun. You know, you gotta be happy. If you don't have a smile on your face during this journey, you're going to fail. So you need to look in the mirror at the end of each day and figure out if you're happy on this journey, and if you're not, what can you change? What small change, without going off the rails and being the person you used to be, what small change can you make to make yourself happy? And I really think balance is the key to that. So consistency, balance, moderation. Those are the tips I have for you. That's it. So I'm gonna leave you with one more thing. Somebody literally just asked me what smoothies I make because I posted my Syntrax Nectar unflavored, and I'm gonna throw in Aubrey Strawberry's Instagram name also, so you can add her on there. She's freaking amazing. She's hilarious. She has her own blog. She posts the most amazing food, and she's gorgeous. But she has a code for Centrax Nectar to save money. I believe it's 40% off. I was able to get 2 of these puppies for 42 bucks. And I like the unflavored because my tastes always change. And I like the different flavored ones. I've tried ones from them that are good. But some days I want a fruit smoothie. Some days I want a green smoothie. Some days I want, a chocolate shake or like a coffee protein shake. My flavors always change. But my absolute favorite right now is this one that I've made it a few times. I originally tried it from somebody else and I decided to try and remake it. Not exactly the same, but honestly, I think it's better. Okay, so I made a mistake. It's not Aubrey Strawberry. It's Aubrey Straw or Strow. I'm not exactly sure, but her name's at the end. Sorry, girl. So I'm going to read you a list of the ingredients, and then I'm going to go ingredient by ingredient and let you know what I recommend. So, of course, I have to pull it up. Okay, so it's zucchini, avocado, roasted pumpkin seeds, dates, coconut oil, and I throw in little chunks of coconut as well. Plus, I use Fairlife chocolate milk, mostly that, and a little bit of the skim milk so it's not too sweet because Fairlife is the bomb. And that's that. If I need to throw in some ice, I will, but because some of the stuff is frozen, I really don't typically need to. So for the zucchini, I have a mandolin slicer, and I slice them really, really thin, and then I put them in Ziplocs and freeze it. Now, the good thing about freezing zucchini, it lasts, and it doesn't really matter if the consistency changes when it's defrosted because I don't defrost it. I break off pieces, and you can just throw it all in the bag together. Don't worry about how it sits or whatever, because since it's so thin, you can break it off and just put whatever you need in your smoothie. Ta-da! I also I'll buy like several ripe avocados and cut them up into little chunks, and then I'll divide them, I'll weigh them out by like 1 ounces and put them in snack baggies and put them in the freezer. That and the coconut oil will make it super creamy and smooth and just give you this consistency that you won't find any other way. I love it. The pumpkin seeds, now you can get unsalted and salted. The unsalted are very hard to find. If I eat them as a plain snack, I like to eat the unsalted. But I like the salted ones to throw in the smoothie. Could kind of, give a little special something for that sweet. Dates. The first time, this was like a couple years ago, the first time I ever tried to do dates because someone told me they were good in a smoothie. I didn't know you had to get them pitted, so I put in whole dates, and that was a disaster. So make sure that if you're buying dates, they've been pitted. Don't follow my mistake. I get frozen coconut. I know they have like the shredded raw one you can find on the shelf, but a lot of times they're sweetened. It's hard to find the unsweetened. So there is a mixed bag of tropical fruit at Publix in the frozen section. I don't remember the brand of it, but it has frozen chunks of coconut. I'm going to look and see if I can find just the chunks of coconut because I pretty much used all the coconut in the bag. Hopefully I can find that. If not, I'm sure you can go get some unsweetened shredded coconut and that would be just as awesome. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Oh yeah, and don't forget to put your protein in. The positive thing about this is you throw in 2 scoops, you've got 20 grams of protein. If you use your Fairlife chocolate milk, 8 ounces of that has, I believe it's 13 grams of protein. So sometimes I use even a little more than 8 ounces. So that's really cool. I've got 33 grams of protein in my shake, and that shake usually lasts me like the entire morning. So totally freaking awesome. I hope you guys enjoy it. Love you.